Hello, friends. This is Parag here, your host on Sjostrom podcast. Thank you very much for joining this podcast. It's my promise to bring you the world-class information in the field of kettlebell sport, and strength and conditioning. Today, we have a guest from Sweden. Her name is Ellinor. Ellinor is lifting kettlebells for 10 plus years, and she is also lifting kettlebells with rheumatoid arthritis. We are going to specifically discuss how is she dealing with arthritis, what kind of nutrition does she take, how does she train, and what kind of precaution does she take, and what tips she is sharing with other athletes or other people who are facing similar problems. Guys, please help me welcome Ellinor from Sweden. Hello, friends. We have Ellinor today in-house from Sweden, and this is a very special episode because we are actually going to talk more about rheumatoid arthritis. Ellinor was on the channel first. She will get started with her sporting journey. How did she started? And then we'll get on to the questions. Over to you, Ellinor. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, hello again.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Yes, I actually my disease, the rheumatoid arthritis, was the reason I started with kettlebells because I couldn't. Before I did a lot of running, and I couldn't do that since my knees got swallowed up every time. So at the local gym where I went also to do some workouts, I got introduced to kettlebell lifting, starting with more circuit training, and then eventually got into the Girevoy sport lifting.
Okay. So what exactly is the rheumatoid arthritis, and what are the symptoms, if you can share, because it's been like more than 10 years you're facing this.
Yeah, I started in 2010, and it's an autoimmune disease.
Okay.
So you react on yourself. So it's like you get not in an inflammation in your joints. Yes.
Okay.
And the body can't take care of the inflammation itself. So then your joints swallow up from my knees, like they got all the liquid inside. So really swallow and stiff. So that's the how you feel. That's the disease. So you need help to medication to get better, and of course movement helps as well.
Okay. So how did you encounter this for the first time? Like this, if this was for you for the first time, what is the feeling? How do you get that? Do you have a restricted movement in the fingers initially to start with, or it is directly on the knees?
No, it started in my hands and wrists. I did a full renovation of my children's rooms. So I did many movements I wasn't used to, and using tools I wasn't used to. So after that I was getting really soreness and swallow feeling in my hands. So at first I thought it was maybe like soreness from training when you do things not used to, so it will but it never went away. Instead my other joints felt the same, so my shoulders and my knees and feet and ankles, and after maybe a month I couldn't sleep since the pain and swallowness was so bad. So I had to sit up to sleep, to try to sleep, but so that's the way it started for me.
So initially when it started, like as you mentioned that you've been facing this for a month, you couldn't sleep. So did you visit the doctor, or did you do some some Googling about what is happening with you? How was your approach towards rheumatoid arthritis?
Yes, I at first visited doctors, and the first doctor was like a general doctor, so he just gave me painkillers and said try this and it will be better, but it didn't get any better. So luckily enough, I had a neighbor at the time. His sister was working at the rheumatologist department at the hospital. So I talked to her, and she said, this is probably rheumatoid arthritis. So I got an appointment there, and they did different kind of tests, and then they put me on medication.
Okay.
Yes.
So medication was tablets, and did they suggest you exercise, or it was just the medication? What was the doctor's approach?
At the beginning, it was medication, just to how do you say, the body to settle down, to manage all the inflammation in my joints. So they put me on cortisone pills.
Okay.
And I also had like this chemotherapy medicine.
Okay.
For to get the inflammation away. And also painkillers to just be able. So quite a lot of medication in the beginning, just to manage the disease, to get it to slow down. So at the beginning, maybe not so, the first month, not so much training or movements, but when you get this disease, you also get education, what you should do and how you can help yourself. And one of the most important things is to do exercise. So they told me, you do exercise, and if you need, you take painkillers to do the exercise. So I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So why the rheumatoid arthritis happen? Like, what are the for example, is it a hereditary? Like your children, your mother or probably father had arthritis? If you can just give a little bit,
yeah, it could
how
be.
Does it change? Maybe a lifestyle, maybe something related to lifestyle. I don't know. Diet, nutrition.
No, it could be. How do you say, when you inherit from your relatives? It's like it could be that way. I had like a grandmother. But she got it when she was really old. You can get it as when you get older and your joints, like your hands, get really crooked, and so they didn't know why I had it. They couldn't tell the reason why I got it, but often reading about it myself, I maybe if you're going through a lot of stress, it could
so one of the reasons
trigger it to stop. So maybe if you have a lot of psychological stress, and that could be a reason. I don't know. For me, it started so.
Okay. So this was 10 years back. So after you started doing exercise, what was your feeling about it? Did it go away, or was the pain relieved? How exercise really helped you, because you're into kettlebell sport and you're really at elite level. So if you can just explain that.
Yeah. Of course, since I've been running before, I tried that several times to do that again, since that was my favorite cardio training. But every time I tried, my knees swallowed up, so I couldn't. And I continued with the gym training, but I really didn't like. It wasn't much joy to go in doing gym training with in the machines, like. You know what I mean, when you do training in
gym.
Yeah. So when I found the kettlebell, I didn't. How do you say? It was good to do exercise, but I didn't feel. Of course, it made me better in a way, but the big breakthrough was actually when I found the kettlebell sport. Both strength and cardio training, and smooth for my joints. So then after that, I noticed a big difference both in my energy level, the
Okay.
tiredness, less
Okay.
tired. And after I found the sport, I could also increase my medicine. So
Okay. Okay.
don't take so much medicine.
Okay.
And I think it's many things that at the same time, it was the first years was, it takes a while to find the right medication for you.
Okay.
As an individual, you need to try different ways. And it
Okay.
took a few years for me as well to find the right medication for
Right
me.
medication.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. So now, if those individuals who are getting infected with arthritis and those who are, what are the as basic as simple things what they want to do to avoid spreading it more? If they're not doing exercise, what lifestyle changes they want to do? What is your suggestion for that? Like, see, diet
Happy hour
nutrition
that,
probably yes would be one of the things. Like
yeah,
maybe you want to change the diet nutrition, but apart from that, if you have
I,
any, yeah, tell me.
the main key is movement. You need
Movement.
to find something to do, some exercise that you like.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be kettlebell sport, but you find something you like, so it's easy for you to do it, whatever it is. I think that's the really important thing to feel better.
Okay.
Because the more you stay still, the worse it gets in a way.
Okay.
I think you need to
Okay, so
be
exercise
active.
is the solution. Yeah, exercise
Yeah,
is the solution.
I think so. In some way, I think you could find something that you enjoy. If it's horseback riding, swimming, or yoga, or whatever, it doesn't need to be weights. But
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it is very important. Most of the individuals really they're getting stuck with such kind of diseases, then they really get slow in their life. In generally, we have seen that because that's the change what you have to do here before it really is practical. So yeah, I mean, a lot of self motivation is needed for all these things, especially when the age factor is there.
yeah, of course. And I think also you can be helped by medication if you get help from the healthcare, of course. It's also important to fight the tiredness, because they told me in the beginning, and maybe that I could only work part-time, that I would continue. But then when you find your right way and you learn you don't need to be.
Okay.
It's a great feeling when you overcome all these obstacles.
Yes.
And
Yes.
find a way to deal with it.
Okay.
And it's not easy every day, of course. I still feel it, but not in the same way as in the beginning.
Yes. Yes.
So that's great.
So how do you deal with the mental challenge in this? Like, do you have any mentors helping you, or how do you deal it by yourself?
Break down and get up. No, I try to be kind to myself, and the days when I feel more tired, or it feels very difficult, or I get setbacks, I try to see what I can do and not focus on what I can't, and to be happy for the achievements I've done. And of course, on my better days, I almost forget I have this disease. So then I start to compare myself to healthy people. And
Healthy people, yes.
Yeah, yes, and yeah.
Okay.
And I think I try to be happy for that as well, since I think it's a good thing that I sometimes forget that I have this disease, because I feel so good. So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried meditation? Does meditation help?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Actually not. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay. So I guess probably you should try. That is also
Yeah.
one of the way to relieve your stress and eventually it will definitely help the arthritis also, because the movement is there, meditation is there. So all these things, it becomes very important. Maybe
Yeah,
you
I
want
think
to
you're
try.
right. I try.
Yes, yes. So if this is preventable, if this is detected at early stage, is this preventable to spread? Like maybe is there any solution for this in the medical?
Not that I know of, but they have so many different kind of treatments and different kind of medication nowadays. So
Okay.
you should find something that could you. And it's like, how do you say? It's we call it in Swedish break like a medicine that stop how do you say? Stops you to get worse.
Okay.
So at the time I take the medication, I take once a week, like I can't find the word.
Okay. Like your tablets for taking, or
No, now I take a injection.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like it's a medicine that works against the disease and the inflammations, so it won't appear.
Okay.
So it like set it back.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe that's a good thing. There are more and more different kind of medications you can take besides doing what you can for yourself.
Okay. What dietary changes have you made, or what dietary changes have you been doing when you face with arthritis? Like probably avoiding milk or milk products, or maybe meat or something like that. Have you made any dietary changes?
The thing I'm eating is pork.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most of the time?
Yes, most of the time, almost all the time.
Okay, so that is for the lunch and the dinner.
Sorry?
For the lunch and the dinner.
Yes. So no, I don't eat that. No. Otherwise, I try to avoid white flour and sugars.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, dairy products as well. I eat them, but not. I try to eat as little as I can. Okay. So of course, I eat myself sometimes with ice cream or.
Okay.
But I try to avoid it, and yeah.
Okay. And do you take like micro supplements like vitamin C, vitamin E, multivitamins, and all that?
Yes. Yeah, I do take collagen.
Collagen, okay.
Yeah, for my joints, and something is called MSM. I think that's also something for your joints. Yep.
But apart from that, like basic vitamin C, I think should be getting through the food only. So do you take it via supplements?
Yeah, I do. I do take zinc and magnesium, and yes, and D vitamin.
Okay.
You need here in Sweden since it's so dark.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So this has this arthritis also have restricted your range of motion while doing kettlebell training? How do you deal with that? In the lockouts?
Not in the lockouts. Maybe since I think my the weak part of my body is my knees. I can feel it when I'm doing swings that I can't extend my knees backwards like in the I don't feel comfortable. No.
Okay.
So, but it's not too bad. But that's the thing I can feel. It's hard to push it. Like, yeah.
So with this, how does your fitness program change? So do you do a lot of supportive movements, or do you do unsupportive movements when you're actually training in the gym? So when you're training for the kettlebell sport, do you add a lot of supportive movement like leg press, leg extension, leg curls, which is basically support, which I'm not sure if you add into your training programs, but how does your training program look like?
But I do I do a lot of
weight training, daily
yes,
squats, good mornings, and all those.
yes, that's right. Yeah, I do that. Like support movements and support training for the kettlebell. Maybe the last years I do less kettlebell training and more
Strength training.
support. Yes, strength and support training for my shoulders and knees and.
Okay. In comparison with the last year, how do you feel this year? Stronger? Forgetting about the injuries if you have had, but when you competed in Portugal, and probably if you're planning to come down to Hungary, do you feel increase of the strength, or do you are you on the same level of what you were there last year? Like, for example, if you're doing double 12s, double 16, or single 16s, repetitions wise.
Yes. Maybe at the time, maybe similar, maybe level. A bit stronger or similar to last year, but it feels a bit better actually, but I'm not sure yet. I haven't, I'm not in my training program, so I can't tell, but it feels a bit better than last year. So I hope it will continue.
Yes.
I also in my period, I'm in menopause.
Yes.
You know, when that's affect me as well. And I think that's another thing to be aware of when you have rheumatoid arthritis, since menopause also affect your joints and muscles and your energy level and all those things. So yeah.
Yes. Wow. So that's quite a deep insight for us to understand on whatever the conversation we had, and a lot of takeaway from this podcast. Now, before we end this podcast, what kind of message do you want to give for the people who are having some or the other problems, and how do they deal and get into the sport? So, because you're having this for the past 10 years and still you're lifting at elite level, so if you can just give a good message.
Yeah, I think it's important to be kind to yourself and learn how to listen to your body. What's a good pain and a bad pain, so you don't be afraid to do movements, and don't be afraid to try to lift and challenge yourself. I think that's important to get forward and both manage the pain and the tiredness. Even maybe it doesn't feel that way, but I think that's important. Find a train and makes you happy.
Okay. Yeah, that's very important. Perfect. Thank you, Ellinor, a lot for your time. And
thank you.
I wish you good luck for the upcoming competitions. And
thanks.
I wish you good health, and I really look forward to see you in the next visit.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, and same to you.
Thank you.